So today, continuing on from my tags that I did yesterday, I was so inspired. I went through all my Christmas supplies and realized I really didn't have that much, to be honest. So I pulled out my scraps. I did talk about doing a log cabin style masterboard, which I did a few years ago, and made a really lovely journal that I sent over to the UK as a gift. So this is me recreating that with my scraps that I have today. So I'm going to do a bit of a time lapse and, put some nice Christmas music in the background. Some of you don't like the music. It took me about 40 minutes and I'll probably, double speed or triple speed it. I might just, do a little bit of voiceover here and there, but I just thought, to show you the process of how I got here. But I just so happy with this. It's so bright and cheery, and I will make a journal out of this. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you at the other end with the finishing touches and the reveal. I've got a 12-inch piece of scrapbooking paper. It's just plain and it's white on both sides. You can use anything. You can use cereal box, you can use food packaging. Pizza box would be ideal because it's a similar sort of shape. But I want to recreate a log cabin style pattern that I did many years ago, made a journal, and I sent it over to the UK as a gift. So what I did was, I pretty much, because I don't know what type of journal I make, but if I fold it in half, it'll be pretty much a A5 size. So I'm thinking I'm going to make some sort of a focal point in sort of the top middle, where I imagine that would be the front of a cover, because I'm going to probably end up using this as a cover. And then on the back, I would probably just put something like that to just have a nice little focal point. So these are Christmas scrapbook paper, and I've trimmed the end off. So that's that lovely little strip. Some scrapbook papers don't do that anymore. I noticed that's where they do all their branding. But literally what I did was I would take a piece like this and I would just layer it over the top like that, and then say I take another piece, like say I go for a green, and then I would come like that. So I would then take this piece and cut it, say about there, and then I would come in and take, say, another piece like that, and I'd cut it about there. There's no exact science to this, and I'm not even following any particular method. It's just what I did, and it just turned out so beautifully. And then I could, say, pick something like this up, and you just leave a little bit at the top so that you can continue the pattern with the next piece. So then you can come in with another colour like this, and then just cut. So if I start thinking about coming to the edge, that's going to be roughly 2 pieces. So if I cut around about there like that, and then I can come in with another piece, and I don't even really think too hard about like what piece I'm picking up. So I try to, obviously vary up the pattern a little bit, but you could do something like that. So I'd probably start coming in and doing it like that. So anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll put some music on, and I'm just going to piece this together, and you can sit back and watch. And if this is something that you think will help you with your scraps, do something creative, you can follow along. also, I just wanted to say, where there's like little gaps, don't worry about those, because afterwards we're going to come along and we're going to get like little stickers and little embellishments, and we're going to also stitch over certain places. So just piece together as best you can, but don't get too caught up in, oh, it doesn't fit perfectly and how do I know, you know, what size to cut. Just do the best you can, just go with the flow, and as I say, we'll fix all those little anomalies up at the end. Once you get going with it, you certainly start to see a pattern emerge, and it does become a little bit easier.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing, just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day.
Okay, so I have finished an A4 section down here. I'm going to cut this off, and I can also, these pieces that are left on the side here, and also I'm going to make some other strips because I've only got about maybe a few patterns left and it's getting hard to break up the colorings. So I'm going to trim that there, and that will give me pretty much an A4 sheet, which will be enough to do a cover. Now what I've done is I've just been looking at the pieces here, and there are some that I just want to cover over. If you have a look closely here, you'll see that there is a little bit of a gap here. So I've just gone through my fussy cuts and I've just pulled out some Christmas fussy cuts that I can just sort of glue down, and I think that that would look nice. Now this is going to be the spine bit here, so I'm going to end up putting lace on this area here, and then at the back here I just thought I would just break this up a little bit. There's this little section here where if you have a look, it's just not quite cut properly, so I'll just cover that over there. And then I found this little fella here which I thought looked very cute, so I think I'll just put him there like that, so that'll look very cute. And then if there's any other little gaps, what I'll do is I'll like I've got a bit of a white gap there, so I might get some zigzag stitch and stitch there. So I'll just go around and I'll just tidy up a few areas, and I'll come back and I'll show you when I'm finished. Okay, so I have all finished now. I added some of the little fussy cuts out just to cover up a few of the, you know, little spots where they didn't meet quite properly. So this, as I say, I will use as a journal cover. I'm not sure yet whether I'll kind of cut it and use it as a big topper, or if I'll do something else. That'll be continued. As I said, I think I'll once a month, I think I'll just sort of pull out some festive boxes, whether that be Easter, Christmas, or, you know, Halloween if you're into that sort of thing. And I also just used up a few scraps and just covered this off, so I'll get to my big shot and get some dies out, and I'll probably cut some tags, you know, one here and one there. But I'm pretty happy. I have really whittled my scraps down to this, and I guess I can just use those for some clusters or just some nice little strips or belly bands or something like that. That actually might be a good idea to make some belly bands out of these little strips here. So guys, I think that's going to be it for me this side of Christmas. I'm really pleased that I managed to go through all my Christmas supplies. I kind of did a bit of a declutter, really. I thought I had heaps and heaps of Christmas supplies, but I actually didn't. It was more that I just had a creative block. And from doing the tags, which you haven't seen in that video, I'll link that in the description below. It just sort of cleared that creative block that I had. And I just went through all my supplies, and you know, I thought I didn't have craft supplies that I needed, but actually, to be honest, there probably are a few Christmassy things that I could get, but I'll save that for next year. So wishing you a Merry Christmas, and hopefully we'll see you again all safe and sound in the new year. And that's it from me, guys. Until the next video in the new year, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.